Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
My name is Ari Wojciech.
My name's Casey Young.
And this is...
The Ticket.
It is 18th of April, 2024. Year
Sure
of
is.
our Lord.
It sure is.
Roughly 2,000 hours, 24. How do they say it?
Roughly 2,000 hours.
Do they just say 2,000 hours? They don't give the minute? They just give like... do they round up and down? I've never heard... Do they say like in the army?
Do they say 2,000? I've heard 900. 1,600 hours, 2,000 hours, yeah.
But then how do they say the minute? Do they say 2,400 hours? 2,024 hours? I wonder.
I don't think I've ever heard it with minutes.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. So maybe they don't say that. Anyway.
Yeah. Trying to think of... But no, I haven't.
Casey, well, first of all, thank you so much. Casey helped me hang a whiteboard today.
He's been talking about this all night. It wasn't a big deal.
It was a big deal. It was an insane undertaking.
I'm glad it was so helpful to you. I am. You just don't have to keep thanking me. I didn't do anything.
I can't fathom doing it by myself. Also, there's like 4 unnecessary holes in my wall now.
Yeah, there was a lot of
idiot
holes made. A lot of drilling done.
But we did it. Ari bought some drill bits today. And
yay, Ari.
Yeah, it was my first time putting in anchors into the drywall.
Oh, the white bits?
Yeah, the white parts.
Cool.
Yeah. I've never done that. Which is why it was such a nightmare.
Which is why 2 of them are smashed into the wall.
Yeah, word of advice for those of you who are about to put in anchors in your wall to hang up a whiteboard. Don't just smash them in with a hammer. Yeah, you got to be gentle.
Soft, yeah. Because it's a hammer after all.
Yeah, I should have used like a rubber mallet.
Oh, do you have one of those?
No.
Oh, okay.
But in retrospect.
Well, I think the hammer did fine once you knew how hard to go with it.
That's true. Yeah.
You did fine.
Thank you so much. But anyway, before we embarked on that insanity, you were like, I got some stuff to say on the podcast.
I'm just so excited. I have a lot to say about Criterion Casey.
Your Criterion Casey is like on lock.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
That's going to be hefty.
But you don't have anything in the first half.
I went to a magic show on Tuesday.
Oh, sick. Where?
Yeah. This place.
Where we live.
This place where we live, it's a bar. Okay. And every Tuesday they have a magician come in. It's the same guy. He works in the Magic Castle.
I love that there's a Magic Castle somewhere in America.
Yeah. Somewhere in America. Yeah. He's a very good magician. It was a very small room, maybe 6 seats. And he was like,
whoa.
Yeah. And he was like, everybody come really close because I do interactive magic. So you guys can't interact if you're all the way back there. So we all get really close, and he's just doing like close up, sleight of hand kind of stuff. It was so cool.
Where? Just tell us where it was.
It's a place called Shadow Grove Brewery.
Shadow Grove Brewery.
Yeah, it's in Sylmar.
Did you have to... It's in Sylmar?
Sylmar is only like 15 minutes from here. Sylmar is not that far.
It sounds so far.
Sylmar does sound far.
It sounds like a mountain town.
Actually, to be honest with you, Sylmar might be 30 minutes from you because it's 15 minutes from my job.
Yeah. In Van Nuys.
Yes, in Van Nuys.
We're really just outing ourselves now.
Yeah. So it's in Sylmar.
What is this, a PTA film?
And then I went down Magnolia. I get it.
We get it. You're in the valley. Van Nuys is the valley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So magic show. Did you have to pay extra to go?
Yeah. I mean, the bar didn't have a cover or anything, so it was just $10.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. And he performed for like 2 hours. He couldn't stop.
Dude, the thing that's so cool... this is how I feel about magicians and comedians that are... Well, this is how I feel about magicians that are good at being a magician and comedians who are good at being a comedian.
Right.
Like, you're devoting your whole existence to that craft.
Totally.
And I think there's something so beautiful about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I went down like a crazy David Blaine rabbit hole during COVID.
Oh yeah, he's not a bad magician,
Dude. I mean, he's like obsessed. Like he lives and breathes that life. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really admire it. I really admire like the devotion. I think it's cool. There's a interview with Werner Herzog from on Jenkem magazine. It's a skate magazine.
Okay.
And he talks about how you can't trust David Blaine because he's like, yeah, he's doing it for the publicity. He's doing it for the notoriety. He's not doing it for the sheer joy of it.
Oh.
Because he's talking about like what he admires about skaters. And he's like, skaters aren't doing it for notoriety. Like they're not going to get, unless like one in like a billion.
Right.
Is going to be famous. So he's like, they're just doing it for the sheer love.
Yeah. That's true.
But I don't know. I think.
Well, everybody's famous in their circles.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the only skateboarder I can name is Tony Hawk, but I'm sure skaters know plenty more skaters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, and yeah, I don't know. I think you do like. I don't think you can sustain something without love.
That's also true.
You know, unless you're really greedy, and then because greed seems to sustain a lot of evil.
A lot of magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, magic specifically seems like something, especially at David Blaine's level. Like he could be greedy, but it's also like you don't need any. You're David Blaine.
Yeah.
You could do the same 2 tricks in Vegas for years. You're David Blaine.
True.
So I mean,
but he doesn't do. Yeah.
I feel like he's just constantly always trying to get better at magic.
Yeah. I think that's cool. But yeah, magic, fucking A. What kind of magic do you like in your movies? Are you like a magical realism, like, ooh, is there magic here? Or do you want to see like Harry Potter level in your face?
I'm definitely more of a realistic kind of person. Excuse me.
I cannot think of a magical realism movie right now, like off the dome. Can you give me an example?
I guess I'm thinking of something like when you said that, I think it probably bridges more into like spirituality, whatever. When you said that, I thought of Yellow Jackets, where it's people in a situation that seems normal, but then weird stuff starts happening, and you kind of go, is this actually happening? Is this caused by somebody else, or is this like magic or whatever?
Yeah, that's cool.
But I hate fantastic creatures. I hate made-up animals. I hate fairies. Whenever I see that weird dog dragon from the Neverending Story, I want to kill him. I hate it.
Don't like the Neverending Story.
Never seen it.
I can't. I can't
tolerate it.
I think. I think it's bad. Mm-hmm. Like even when I was a kid, I was like, "This sucks."
Yeah.
It made me uncomfortable. It made me sad. Did you just hear that popping sound?
Can you do that on command, or was that just like a random? Well, I guess we know what the clip is. That was incredible.
I'm so embarrassed.
I thought it was something else. No, don't be embarrassed.
For listeners at home, Ari sometimes itches the inside of his ear, and it makes a popping sound.
That's okay, and that's totally fine.
I have used it as my can you show us a special skill in like commercial auditions? And I just do that.
In audition? You're like, yeah, I can make my ear pop.
Self-tapes, yeah.
Fucking
yeah. Because I'm like, what am I going to do? Like juggle or play the guitar or some bullshit? So I'm like, yeah, fucking.
I guess that's a good point.
Because I think the other thing that's so funny about like asking actors for a special talent, it's like.
This is my special talent.
But it's like they're looking at my like acting resume, which has all my special talents.
Oh yeah,
it, you know. So yeah, I'm just gonna like be a fuck shit whenever I get asked that question. Maybe that's why I haven't fucking booked a commercial off a self-tape.
So they know you're being an asshole.
Yeah, you're like fuck this guy.
Okay.
What the fuck were we talking about? Oh, Never-Ending Story.
Oh yeah, you don't like a Never-Ending Story.
I can't.
Yeah.
But there is something specific about the production design that I really don't like.
Oh, okay.
It's just like off-putting.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's all practical effects, obviously. But yeah, I don't dig it. I really don't dig it.
I get that.
But you hate unicorns.
Yeah, I mean unicorns. Oh my god. The best. Here's where this gets tricky. I love the Lord of the Rings. Love the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Love it more than anything, more than anyone.
There aren't
in this
a lot
world.
of like fantastic. Well, there's elves, but they look like humans.
Well, I mean, generally it's all fantastic. The hobbits aren't real. The orcs,
Right.
freaking Mordor. I mean, it's all.
True. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like saying that because I don't like them in other media, like the Dark Crystal, things like that. I don't like it. I hate the Dark Crystal.
I think I could get down with it. I haven't seen it.
Labyrinth. Oh my god, kill me. Kill me.
I also have not seen Labyrinth. I've seen the David Bowie clips. They make me uncomfortable.
That entire movie makes me uncomfortable. And you know what? I find his hair so off-putting, I can't even find him sexy. So everybody's like, I read this interview with Stephanie Beatriz a long time ago.
His hair.
It's awful. It's awful. It's really bad. Where she was like, oh yeah, David Bowie and Labyrinth was my sexual awakening. I was like, ugh, this guy, ew.
I feel like I hear that a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people think that. The one
into it.
The one I do agree with is Robin Hood, the fox from the Disney cartoon.
The fox?
Yeah. In the Disney Robin Hood, he's a fox, and he's very sexy.
I know that.
Oh yeah,
but he's people's sexual awakening.
Oh yeah, did you not know that? He's a lot of people's sexual awakening. Yeah, there are a lot of people. I mean, people into adult like me. He wasn't my sexual awakening, but I find him very sexy.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh yeah, like he was the first guy like I masturbated to, like the fox, the fox from Robin Hood.
Holy shit.
He is incredible. I kind of wish. Never mind.
God, if we're equating the first time you masturbate to like your sexual awakening,
they don't necessarily have to be compare the same thing. I was just saying that there are a lot of people who feel very strongly about him.
Well, I mean, I do love that movie. That movie rocks.
That's great.
Word on the street, some fuck shit is doing a live action one for Disney. Yeah, it's so annoying. And they like had a poster of it. It's just like his hand, it's like stupid, fucked up live action hand.
I'm tired of the live action stuff.
I can't, dude. The Pinocchio one like really broke me. I was like, fuck you. Like, fuck you. That one is just so blatantly. Yeah, Robin Hood. Remake of the 1973 animated feature. Carlos Lopez Estrada is doing the.
Oh, what? So here's the thing about Carlos Lopez Estrada is that
he did Raya. Oh, he did Blind Spotting.
I think Blind Spotting is one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah.
And then he did fucking Raya, and I was like, I think he's great. He's a friend of a friend, and I think he's great. He's a great guy, and he's very talented. And also, Summertime is pretty good. My friend's in that.
Yeah, Summertime looks sick.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you've seen it because of all the people you know that are in it.
I have not seen Summertime.
Oh, I thought you said it was sick. I'm sorry.
I said it looks sick.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I thought you would have.
Oh my gosh, am I about to be really embarrassed?
No, what do you mean?
Because there's homies in it?
No, not like that. The reason I saw it was because my friend's in it, and she was talking about how close she got with Kelly, and I was like, oh, that'd be really funny if you saw it with Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast, Kelly.
Tangentially.
Yeah. No, I think he's great. But then Raya came out. I think they're both great. Oh my god, I'm digging myself in a hole.
You're doing great.
I don't like when Disney like sinks their teeth into really talented people and then makes them do garbage.
Yeah, I'm so scared to watch the Peter Pan and Wendy.
Is that already out? Or are they making it?
They just dumped it on streaming.
The David Lowery one?
Yeah. Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
No theatrical release, which seems so insane.
I thought when you said that, I was like, is it out? Because I thought it was still in production.
No.
It's
out.
done.
It's been out for a minute. But apparently people don't like it. But I really liked his Pete Dragon.
Cool.
I thought it was...
I haven't seen it.
I didn't think it was bad. I mean, it was fine. It was fun. You're not a Green Knight guy, though, huh?
I thought it was fine. I don't have a distaste for it at all. There are parts of it that I think are really amazing.
Yeah, that one I'm like still so like... I saw it twice. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, the performances are great. The visual storytelling is like spectacular, but the overall like experience, I'm still a little like, what?
I'm hoping to warm up to it because that was around the same time that I saw Lamb, and I was feeling very enlightened by movies that are based on folklore that kind of play like folklore.
Yeah.
So I was trying to. I've been like thinking and ruminating on that because I loved Lamb. I thought it was amazing.
Lamb is wild. Lamb. Yeah, I love that kind of slow burn.
Yeah,
I can really get behind.
I thought that was great.
What's her name?
No,
Nomi.
do you know how to pronounce it? Because it's crazy.
No.
It's Nomi Rapace.
Oh, it's Rapace.
Yeah.
I always say like Rapace.
I thought it was Numi Rapace.
It's Rapace.
Yeah, it's Numi Rapace.
Rapace.
Rapace. I can't tell which A is the inflection.
Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah, she's one. She's one for sure.
But now that I know.
Once you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is with that one, once you know how to spell it, you're golden.
Saoirse?
I can't tell by you saying the letters in me. I gotta see it written.
Screaming at me. Yeah, Jesus.
People do that at my job all the time. They're like, my phone number is 457. And I'm like, please give me a second. I don't even have my pen out.
I remember reading an article once in Empire magazine.
Wow.
And it was like top 10 lies in movies. That like recurring like lies.
Okay.
That they're just like, this is not real life. And I think number 5 was like people's ability to memorize phone numbers and addresses. Because so often it's just like they say it once.
Oh, yeah. And then they're like, oh, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
It's
It's like, what? Like
absolutely.
The example that I think is so funny is in The Dark Knight. When the Joker's like, Maggie Gyllenhaal's here and Aaron Eckhart is here.
Yeah.
And he just spits it out so fast. And I'm like, there's no way anybody knows.
Sorry, Bruce, you're fucked.
Yeah. And he doesn't give like a city or a zip code. It's like, wait, are you, what?
Well, it's in Gotham.
Why not? But it's still like, just
like
the,
Gotham, America.
like, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, because there are so many instances in my life where I type in an address and I'm like, wait, which one?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
There are plenty of times where if it's just south and it's north,
oh, God,
you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're like 30 minutes away from where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. So, but the number one thing in that article that really kind of fucked me up, I guess this was a kind of sexual awakening, was the number one thing, the number one lie in movies was people orgasming at the same time. And I think I read this article when I was like 16 and I was like, oh my God. Like, of course. Like, of course that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And it like blew my fucking brain. Good lesson to learn though. Because the depiction of sex in movies is so insane.
I don't know if Western cinema will ever. I don't know if American cinema will ever be able to get past the Hays Code. Because
oh my God, yeah.
I found myself talking to people in like the past few years who have been like, there's just so much sex in movies. I'm like, now? Right now?
It's like, what are you talking about?
And even when there is, it's like not even sex. It's just people like bumping into each other.
It's so insane, dude. I mean, that's what was so striking. Casey and I went to the 2002 Spider-Man.
Sure did. Oh, yeah. With a really
Maguire.
sexy scene.
Which has like a really sexy little makeout scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was just so struck by, and it's not like pervy.
No.
You know, it's not, and it doesn't feel, and like, yes, she's in a white shirt, and like you can definitely like see her whole tit, but like, I don't know. I feel like I've seen more male gazy shit in like a grosser way in blockbusters. But yeah, that movie, I was just so struck by how hot it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, they're letting these like sexy people be sexy.
And you know what? I was thinking about this. I'm really trying to like figure out why things are the way that they are. Like you go, like why society is the way.
All of it.
I'm trying to go all the way back to the first man and say, no, so you say, oh, why is the upside down kiss sexy? Mm-hmm. All these reasons. There's so many reasons.
Sure.
One that I really like is the end where she's giving her monologue and then she grabs his head and just kisses him, which is very sexy.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, you mean at the very end at the
very
funeral.
end. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something in another movie it would be done a different way and be less sexy is my point.
Oh, absolutely.
I could go on
I feel like in the MCU it wouldn't happen.
No. Like,
it's crazy how asexual those movies are.
For a bunch of hot people in tight clothes.
Hot people, yeah, it's like, it's so strange.
I feel like the sexiest scene in the MCU was when Angelina Jolie was fighting that tentacle. Wait, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
She's fighting like a tentacle monster in the Eternals, and I swear to God, it's not supposed to be this way. There's absolutely no indication that it's supposed to be perverted, but like the camera movement alone is like, why are we looking at the long caresses of this weird monster on Angelina Jolie for so long? It's strange.
Maybe Chloe Zhao is a tentacle queen.
Yeah, maybe it's like subconscious too. I feel like she'd never admit to it. Yeah. Yeah, the MCU is very sexless.
To be clear, I would love to work for Chloe Zhao. So, Chloe Zhao.
We're not making fun of you.
Please disregard
at
that.
all.
She's doing allegedly a production of Our Town here in LA.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, she's a huge fan.
What?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
She reads it like once a year.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was trying to get an audition for it. Failed.
I was just reading this book about this guy who wrote essays, and he wrote a short essay about this time that he met Thornton Wilder, and Thornton Wilder was talking about Thornton Wilder wrote Our Town.
I assumed that the way you segued into that so hard.
But then I said it, and I went, I don't think he did.
Let me look. That sounds right.
I feel like Our Town was written by a guy I never heard of before or since.
Our Town. Thornton Wilder, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, anyway. So back to my story that is now totally relevant.
Yeah, that is now totally relevant.
And he was cataloging the plays of this like South American writer who had written 400 something plays, and he was like, I want to read them all, I want to document them all,
holy shit,
I want to have a list of them all. And at this point he's maybe 70 years old, and this guy
this is Thornton Wilder, or Thornton Wilder's telling a story about this person?
This is Thornton Wilder doing these things at 70 years old. So this is about Thornton Wilder. He in my subject is Thornton Wilder. And then the guy who wrote the book is talking with him, obviously, and he's like, why? Yeah. Why are you doing that? For who? And he's like, for me.
Hell yeah.
And he's like, and then what he talks about is when you get older, every day you realize that you're closer and closer to death.
Yeah.
And he says, and this is what, I'm not saying it as eloquently, but he's like, finding things to do for yourself prolong that. You feel as though it's further away than it is.
Yeah.
But Chloe Zhao liking Our Town makes sense to me, actually.
Yeah, it seems in line with her filmography. Eternals.
Yeah, they're all Eternals. Like minus Eternals. Yeah, they're just all little mini Our Towns.
What activity do you foresee yourself doing
in my old age.
As death looms large.
I'd love. I guess it depends on how things work out. Like, I'd love to be a what is that called? Wouldn't say that I want to be famous. I'd like to be self-sufficient in filmmaking. And I would like to use that like for other areas of cinema. Like, I wouldn't even mind being like 45, getting a PhD in film studies, and then just teaching for the rest of my life. Like that would be so much fun to me.
That does sound fucking cool as shit.
I feel like my greatest passion is like opening people's minds about movies. I think movies are like the number one target for like prejudice in art and things.
Oh, sure.
And I would like to I would like to be a warrior against like preconceived notions and things like that.
So you mean like people are like, oh, I don't watch this type of movie because it's always da da da.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm constantly surprised, and I would like for other people to be surprised.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. Is there an art form that you are very prejudiced about?
I wouldn't say I'm prejudiced about it, but it's the one that I find the most off-putting is poetry.
Yeah, poetry's hard.
Poetry's hard.
I don't have a lot of like bandwidth for it.
It's hard too because my favorite poet is E.A. Cummings, and some of his stuff I find kind of like whimsical in a way where I'm just like, this feels like Dr. Seuss. And then some of his things are so heady where I'm like, why would anyone read this? I don't even understand what he's trying to say. And most of his work and what I really enjoy is in that middle ground where I feel like the whimsy is expressing something a lot deeper. I say all that to say, poetry is hard because you don't really know who you're gonna like, even the really popular ones.
Yeah, it's hard to like get into poetry, I think.
Yeah.
And right now the listeners are like, well, why the fuck do you read a poem at the end of...
You read like 3 guys.
I know, it's terrible. I need to like broaden it.
No, I'm more saying like you found your little pocket.
I guess so, yeah. I would like to broaden my pocket. I do think poetry can be so striking.
Absolutely.
And I find that really fascinating. But yeah.
Wait, what's an art form that you're prejudiced against?
Ooh, good question. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I feel like there have been moments in my life where I'm just like, no, I'm not into that. Like, I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what it is, actually? I'm pretty prejudiced against, like, this goes for animated films and comic books. I don't, even if a story is really compelling and really good, if I don't like the visual style, I can't. It's hard for me to get into it. A really good example is Sandman. The comic book is beloved. Considered one of the greatest comic books of all time. I've started it probably 4 times and can just not get past the first volume.
Really?
I just think it's so unpleasant to look at.
Really?
And it's even made me not want to watch the show. Which is like completely visually different, obviously.
It's got real people in it.
Yeah. But a recent example, and so far the story has been able to grip me enough, and the visual style isn't so off-putting, but I think a part of it is that I've been watching it with Ali Ray, the Blue Eye Samurai, which I'm really enjoying. It's great. But the animation just like looks like a cutscene from like a PS4 game.
Really?
To me. And to be clear, it's stunning. It's very beautiful. But with animation, I don't enjoy it when it like starts to get into the uncanny valley.
Mm-hmm.
Like their face is just like
like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or something. I don't know. If
no,
I've
like,
never seen Blue Eyed Samurai.
yeah. No, it's like so the uncanny valley is when you try to mimic human features with like computers, and it's just not quite real enough.
Right.
Like I don't know if you've ever seen that Final Fantasy.
Oh, you're talking
animated.
about like something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Where it's like it's just not real looking enough.
Mm-hmm.
And like the closer you get to depicting humans like realistically, the more unsettling it is until you like cross the threshold where it just like looks real.
Yeah.
And I feel like Blue Eye Samurai is just like right on the edge of getting into Uncanny Valley area. And most animated films, like, they avoid this by, like, exaggerating the features. Like, Disney princesses, their eyes are so fucking huge.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
if you see eyes that big on, like, a real human, you'd be
Yeah.
whoa, what the fuck? Yeah. But yeah. But that one, the animation style hasn't turned me off enough to quit. But I do, I like, to be clear, I do like the show a lot. And like Ali Ray thinks the animation's spectacular. So I think I'm in the minority.
I feel that way about a lot of anime. I don't know the director's name, but like the person that made like, what is that, 5 centimeters of the heart or whatever. Like there's a
I don't know that one.
There's a Japanese director and I mean, geez, they make a movie probably like every couple of years. And they're always like little slice of life pieces, usually about young people.
Oh, is this like the guy who did 2 Comets? Fuck. Your fuck. The one where it's like the time they're like in each other's dreams or whatever. Yeah.
I don't like that.
I like that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I dig that style actually. But no, I could see that though. Like why you wouldn't like it.
Like Miyazaki I'm fine with. I used to really like Dragon Ball Z. Like when people recommend me anime and they go, "Oh, that's right, you don't like anime." I go, I don't like anime, but Dragon Ball Z I can get behind. I'm like, I used to watch the shit out of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh hell yeah.
Stuff like that, and then like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure when it's like this
I don't
exaggerated.
Even know what that is.
Oh, it's like the big one now.
Oh shit.
They do. That's why, like, because their character is a little bit more realistic than the other ones that we're talking about. But they're also kind of like, this guy's buff, so his chin is like 30 feet wide and stuff like that. Like it's just like,
sure.
like everything's a little bit exaggerated, but they still look like people.
I like the exaggeration.
I think it's fun sometimes.
I think it's like I lean way more towards that in like the animation I like. But yeah. I've asked you so many questions. I feel like I shouldn't ask my question.
You can ask your question. We're just chatting.
We're just chatting, baby. Yeah, I think so. We've been talking about movies, and we are on our 18th episode right now. Oh my gosh, happy 18 episodes!
Wow.
And then
legal
upon our 25th, that's when we're gonna start building a list, right?
Oh, okay.
Or the 20th. What have
I
we
don't
decided?
even know anymore.
We'll say 25.
25. And feeling alive.
But I want to, hell yeah. I want to steer away from movies for a second.
Okay. We just naturally talk about movies.
Yeah. But, and I mean, this is still like movie related, but.
You're making me yawn.
I'm wondering, sorry.
Ooh, jeez.
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think makes a good actor?
I thought you said you wanted to steer away from movies.
Yeah.
So not a movie
this
actor.
Tangentially about me. Yeah.
What do I think makes a good actor?
Yeah.
Listening. No, I'm kidding. I hate when people say that. We're all listening.
I mean, I think that is true.
I think listening is important, but I think a lot of bad actors listen.
Fair.
Because really, nope, not gonna get into it.
No,
what do I
get into
think?
it.
I feel like the listening you're talking about is like listening for the first time, and some people can't get past that.
Yeah. I had a friend who talked about like, he's like, some of my worst performances have been when I'm just like, I'm listening, but really I'm just like concentrating on the other person.
Yeah, and that's also very hard to do, to not concentrate.
Yeah. And then suddenly it's like, I'm not a human anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's real.
It's kind of a cop out, but like there are days where I'm like, I don't even know how to get a good performance out of myself, you know?
Oh, yeah, same.
I don't know. Listening is important, but how do you crack into that? I don't know. Like I would never be able to advise somebody, but I do think you'll never be able to do it for the first time. So how do you get there, you know?
What do you mean never do it for the first time?
Well, 99% of the time, you know the script already. And 90% of the time, you've said these words already. And the person you're talking to.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
Oh, yeah. It's like you're never going to hear the lines for the first time,
yeah,
really.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unless you're Brando.
What was that a thing for him?
Yeah, well, allegedly, he like... It started with On the Waterfront, I think. Mm-hmm. But he like deliberately didn't memorize monologues. And he had it written on like cards set around the set.
Yeah, I saw Robert Duvall wearing a card. Did you see that on The Godfather?
Oh, no.
Literally attached to his coat, like underneath his jacket of his suit, is a giant card as he's acting against Marlon Brando. Which
fucking wild.
Not to get into it, but that's so fucking fucked up. Like now you're fucking with Robert Duvall's shit.
Yeah, that's
How
true.
is he supposed to give a good performance? Well, I understand, you know, it could be coverage, whatever. He may not necessarily be on camera. But also, why are you making this guy do this?
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Now, if Robert Duvall said, "You're Marlon Brando, I'd do anything." Great. Okay, whatever.
But still, come on.
Learn your lines.
Yeah,
everyone else did.
I mean, I kind of do get the like idea. Like I get wanting to
thanks so much. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
I do get wanting to be this like desire to be spontaneous and alive in your body or whatever. And maybe there's more space for that for you if you're not like held and like clinging to the lines and just letting them come, whether it be by like an earpiece piece or whatever. But I mean, my experience, I feel like my strongest self-tapes, strongest auditions, I'm either horrifyingly underprepared or overprepared. Yeah. And like, but if I'm like in the middle where I like know the script, like I know my lines, but I don't have like a relationship to the material really beyond like surface level understanding of the story and like the circumstances of the character. But like that middle ground is when I fall into like cliche and like just playing tone. But when I'm like ill prepared, that's when I'm like responding from a place of like really needing to pay attention to the person in front of me, you know, and like building a story together, so to speak. And then when I really, really know it, I'm able to just be free and like dance in the sandbox, you know?
Totally.
So I get where Brando is coming from, but it's like, it is annoying. It's like, come on, like you're getting paid millions. Just fucking do the work.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things, because I think it has more to do with external factors than probably is good to say. You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting. What do you mean?
I think the same way direction can make a bad actor very good, I think direction can make a good actor very bad.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, this may be more internal. I think it takes massive understanding of the story you're trying to tell, which I find very hard, like shooting out of sequence.
Sure.
But, and again, I'm thinking of film, I guess. But, yeah, I think it takes. I think you have to understand. Like, I've seen actors in things that are very thematic and maybe not as straightforward in, like, dialogue or story, and it's like, oh man, you're lost. Like, you're just kind of doing what you think you should be doing.
Oh man.
And I don't know if that's what fits in this project, whatever.
Sure. When was the last time you saw a performance where you're like, oh fuck, you're lost?
I can think of two. I can think of two times very recently. I saw a production of a very good, very beloved musical. And there's a character, just as many 2-act plays are, who's very funny in the beginning, and then in the first act, and then has a lot of emotional beats in the second act. And he had played the first act so comedically that it had set the audience to expect comedy in the second act. And then he would start to play, he would play emotional beats as comedic. And then when he was emotional, people would laugh. Which is kind of like, which kind of feels that way to me. You should be able to tell when, especially in something like a 2-act musical, you should be able to identify when you're supposed to be sincere and when you're supposed to be funny.
Oh, that's so interesting. What was the musical?
It was Into the Woods.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Gosh. I'm not familiar enough with Into the Woods to really have an opinion.
I know. That's why when I said that, I was like, I wish we could have a bigger conversation about this.
Because, like, I don't know. To me, I'm always weary when somebody is playing the comedy as opposed to, like, the relationship or the drama, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like good comedy is always like a side effect.
A side effect.
Yeah, of like setup. And,
Okay.
You know, like
I see what you mean.
And I think a good setup is usually rooted in, and even if it's silly, I think it's rooted in like conflict and like need or love, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a really. Can I go? Can I
Please.
explain something?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Can I explain to you, Ari, why you're an idiot?
No. This isn't even to dispute. I want to try and like for you to see what I saw. So, spoilers for Into the Woods and genuine spoilers, because I think every twist. It's my favorite musical.
Yeah.
I think every twist and turn is phenomenal. But I'm not going to go too deep into it. But Into the Woods is like a extended universe kind of thing. It's a bunch of...
It's like all of them. Yeah. It's like Red Riding Hood and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the baker and his wife want to have a baby. And then they go into the woods and chaos ensues. And the baker is very funny. He's cowardly and...
James Corden.
Yes. That's actually his main trait. He's cowardly. So every joke, Red Riding Hood, he steals a cloak from Red Riding Hood. She cries. He runs back with it. He goes, I'm so sorry. He meets Red Riding Hood's grandmother, and she says, are you going to kill the wolf? And he's like, I'm a baker. I don't do that. And like every single joke, this guy, he's nailing it. It's very funny. He even has some ad libs. Like, I feel like they kind of gave him a lot of freedom on that. He even has some ad libs between lines where he's just kind of like a little sassy kind of whatever. But then when the second act comes around, their house is destroyed. So they go back into the woods because now they have to fight a giant. And in the midst of fighting this giant, basically, his wife is killed. And everybody is just kind of standing in the woods, and every character has their own line. Jack goes, I probably shouldn't have gone up the beanstalk. And Red Riding Hood goes, oh, I probably shouldn't have strayed from the path. And the baker is holding his baby, who's now wrapped in the scarf of his dead wife. And he's distanced from them. And he goes, yeah, you probably should have. And everyone laughed.
Whoa.
And I was like, that wasn't one of his snarky little quips.
Whoa. Yeah, that's a wild example of
that was the one I found the most egregious, because that is the part where I always started weeping.
Yeah, but people were laughing.
People were laughing.
That is so interesting.
It is. So that's something I think you have to understand the material as well.
Yeah, yes. And because you feel like that came from a place of oh, you don't get it.
I think that this particular actor understood that line was supposed to be sad.
Oh.
But I think that he had settled into. I think he had made the baker a solely comedic character.
Oh, I see.
That was kind of the.
Oh, that's so.
The result of that.
Gosh, yeah, I don't even know how to feel about that. That's so interesting. Huh. Yeah, fucking acting is crazy.
Acting is crazy because nobody's the same, and you have so many people You could have two actors in a scene, and they don't need the same preparation, and they don't have the same styles. And then they also have to... So they have to be compatible with each other. They have to be compatible with the director. They have to make sense with the material, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know that much about editing, but I think also... Not necessarily that actors have to get along with the editors or whoever, but that... them not being right can affect another person's work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I have a friend who, he's an actor, and his day job is as an editor for network TV. He has worked on some really big shows. And no, performance is so important. Because sometimes they'll have to cut around a performance that's not working.
Right, of course.
And yeah, that's so, I've never heard it explained that way. It's you have to be compatible with multiple facets of a production. The fun example that comes to mind of two actors with completely different processes having to jive is The Lighthouse.
Okay, tell me more.
So allegedly, I don't know if it's true, but Willem Dafoe, huge theater background, loves to rehearse. Robert Pattinson hates rehearsing.
Really?
He prefers to go in almost cold.
I don't understand that. I love rehearsals.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's this phenomenon that I and some of my friends experience where it's the good stuff happens when you're either at the very beginning when you're just learning and in the instance of filmmaking, it's I'm not as prepared as you would like to be. I think interesting stuff happens there because you don't have preconceptions. You're just kind of responding by virtue of the environment and all this stuff versus being really well rehearsed where you're able to not fall into cliche or patterns because it's so embedded in you can just kind of jive within the parameters of the story. So I get it, but it is interesting because it's these two, I mean, that movie's a two-hander.
Yeah.
So it's how do you reconcile actors on either side of that spectrum?
Yeah. Because, I mean, in theory, if Robert Pattinson had his way, Willem Dafoe would never get to rehearse. So then how do you get a good performance out of him? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, in that instance...
And vice versa, of course.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, because in the credits you'll see like in Mr. Defoe's personal assistant was so and so. I'm wondering if they're fulfilling that duty. You know, like
Sure,
they're
sure, sure.
rehearsing with him. You know,
And I mean, knowing them, they probably are actors. I mean, that would suck to rehearse with a non-actor, but they probably are actors.
Yeah. Well, fucking Jeremy Strong was Daniel Day-Lewis's assistant for a hot second.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why he's also like such a method guy.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Well, let me confirm that.
Oh, okay.
Really quick.
Hey, everybody. Ari just said something that was totally true. He just confirmed it. He Googled it, and it's true.
No.
After this, I have to tell you something that gives me chills.
It gives you chills.
Yes, I think it's like when I think about acting, I always go back to this story that I read
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh.
because I think it's so incredible. And I mean, it's short, it's sweet, and it's kind of exactly what we're talking about.
Have
I got
well, he
a
was
girl for you?
he went to high school with Chris Evans.
Slay.
It's crazy. Yeah, he was Day-Lewis's personal assistant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Glenn Powell just posted this video that he was in The Dark Knight Rises. So what the hell were you doing there?
Oh wow.
I didn't remember. I like to see people and stuff like that, right?
Oh
what
yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck?
Where it's like you're like tiny little roles.
Yeah.
No. But what were you gonna say?
Okay. Have you seen The Tragedy of Macbeth? Have we talked about this?
No. I know. I'm a piece of shit.
So Macbeth, it's so cliche, but I mean it's cliche because it's amazing. Macbeth is like my favorite play.
Yeah.
I think it's unbelievable. I read it all the time. I watch it all the time. I watched this really great opera version. I'm constantly watching it. I think it's phenomenal. And I like. Well, I could just go on and on about Macbeth. But The Tragedy of Macbeth, the Joe Cohen directed with Frances McDormand and Denzel Washington. I read this interview with Frances McDormand where she said that her and Denzel really get along and things like that, and that he came up to her like,
I love this story.
Yeah. So for the listeners, because I was going to tell Ari, but he knows already.
No. Keep going.
It always gives me chills when they were like on set just chilling. He comes up to her and he's like, "So what do you think we were like when we were teenagers?" And she's like, "Oh wow." And she's like, this is really exciting.
Yeah.
And how they just kind of parried and like chatted about the backstory of these characters.
Yeah, I think that's so fun.
And I think I like it so I think their performances in that are like untouchable. I am kind of astounded by the stuff that they do in that movie.
Shit, man.
Especially considering that, like, to go, I don't know if Frances McDormand will ever be able to impress me again. Like, she's constantly so good. And then to be surprised, to go, oh, wow, I didn't know that she could do that. And, I mean, Denzel is like, he is insane. I mean, he gives Macbeth so many layers that I thought were inconceivable.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, it's just incredible. So to constantly be surprised by them, that's really great to hear. Like to just, and to kind of be like, oh, a fly on the wall. Like I would love to know what you guys talked about.
Like that shit. Yeah, that's so, yeah, I'm always so curious. But yeah, I think that's what's really frustrating about acting too is there seems to be, I just don't hear this like talk of process that much actually. And it seems so mysterious.
Yeah. Everybody's so mysterious about it.
Yeah. And like even the people in my life, it's like the people that are really good that I'm just like, fuck, you're just so electric.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they like. I try to talk to them and it just seems like they have this like understanding of humanity that other people don't, you know, and they're just able to like tap into it. And I think that's so cool.
I think I like how people always go, oh, well, you should go outside more. And like to be an artist, you should experience the world and stuff like that. I think that there are a lot of people who don't believe that. And I think that's where you can get slipped up. And I also think that a lot more actors mimic than people want to admit.
Oh.
And I think that there are a lot of really great performances that come from either imitation or the understanding of something you've already seen.
Wow.
I know a lot of actors personally who go, I don't want to watch another actor. It'll like affect me. And sometimes it's like that. Maybe that would be good actually.
You know, that's so interesting. I don't fear that because like I can't help but do it through my
right.
You know, like
Yes.
like it's not like I can't do like an impression really.
Yeah.
Like something different is just going to come out just by the nature of my existence, you know. But I will say, I've been having this experience with tap dancing.
Yeah.
My tap dancing coach recently was like, "You gotta watch other dancers. Like you have to. Like what are you doing?" Because he had sent me all the stuff and I hadn't watched it because I'm a busy boy. And
You didn't want to.
No. But when you start to watch other artists do the thing that you're trying to do, there's like this permission that you're able to give yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically with acting, I was working on a Hamlet scene a few months ago. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me watch the fucking Andrew Scott one. You know, like he's the man. And just like watching how hard he went, I was like, oh, like I guess I can do that. But like, let me do it my way, you know? And like,
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so, but then it's like, I think there are people that would be like, oh, well, your performance must have been like false in some capacity, you know? But yeah, I don't know. For me, it really felt like I was able to give myself permission, you know?
Right.
And it felt very freeing.
I really don't like when people think that like, what is it? Like when they want to compare the authenticity of performances or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all fake.
Right.
I mean that makes me sound like an asshole, but I think that we all need to take a step back and remember that it's all fake.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything fake. You're pretending to be a person, and that's what's fake.
Yeah.
That's just something that I don't like personally.
Sure.
Where they go, how did you tap into anything real? What?
Yeah.
What?
I do think there's like, man, I don't even know actually. I'm glad we're talking about this. And oh my gosh, Casey, we have to get a move on.
I know we do have to get a move on.
We're gonna come back to the subject. But it is now time for Criterion Casey. Do you want to do that in the car or?
Oh, we can do that in the car.
Or and we're back.
And we're back.
We gotta adjust these levels here.
It's hot.
I think it's gonna stay up there.
I hope so.
I'll just hold it.
We got to make a rig or something to go.
A car rig.
A suction cup kind of thing.
Oh, do you need to hand me your Criterion notes?
I sure do. Well, firstly.
First of all, we're back and it's time for Criterion Casey.
It's true. We just got out of Civil War.
Civil War?
Alex Garland's new movie. We can't give opinions on it because I don't think either of us know how we feel about it.
Yeah, I'm still... I don't think it's as smart as people are saying, and I don't think it's as dumb as people are saying.
Right.
I think it's just kind of like...
Right.
Fine.
All I know is that I liked it.
Yeah, it was a ride. It was a good ride.
I'm actually afraid to think about it more than I already.
Yeah, I feel like the instant I try to dissect it, it's gonna just fall to pieces.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I really just like Kirsten Dunst.
She's great.
I thought she's great. Yeah, and like Stephen McKinley Henderson also.
Yeah.
And even fucking Wagner Moura.
Yeah.
I think there were some lines that were really clunky. But like when he was in it, I was like, yeah, let's fucking go.
I thought everybody in it gave a good performance. I mean, Nick Offerman was wasted, but you know.
But I think that's kind of the point, maybe, given the nature of his character.
Sure.
Given the nature of his character.
I just meant like that could be anybody. It didn't have to be Nick Offerman.
I like that it's Nick Offerman because it's like a guy we like.
Sure. And you go, oh, bad guy?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's the bad guy.
Worst kind of bad guy.
Right. Like, oh, this sucks.
Spoilers for Civil War.
Spoilers, the bad guy is really bad. If he's even the bad guy?
Yeah, question. Yeah, actually, yeah. They don't really...
They don't say anything about... Which I get... I mean,
he's clearly a stand-in for Trump.
Yeah.
Like, clearly.
Yeah. But it's also kind of like... For probably the first act of the movie, I thought that the other guys were bad.
The Western Front.
Yeah. They could also be, I
Well,
guess.
actually, I guess that's kind of the point, is like the journalists were just kind of like, we fucking hate the press. Well, actually, no, they kind of do take a side, huh?
Yeah, they do take a side. At the end, they do, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. If you want to go see it, go see it. If you don't want to go see it, don't.
Yeah, you'll probably live.
You'll be fine.
Kaylee Spaney, you know?
Looks like a high schooler.
Don't say that. I was about to say something, and you can't say that before I say what I'm...
What were you going to say?
Well, I can't say it now because I'm going to sound like a pedophile.
She's looks 16. It's insane. That casting is so bad.
For the listeners, she's not a teenager.
For the listeners, she looks like a teenager in this movie.
We're the same age. It's not weird.
She's the same age as you?
We're relatively the same age. I do not even think she's 25.
That is... Well, yeah, definitely. If she's over 25, I might as well just kill myself.
What's your skincare routine like, Queen?
Yeah, fuck. That's crazy. I'm just a fingerling potato out here.
What does that even mean, a fingerling potato?
It just, imagine a fingerling potato. That's me.
That's you.
Anyway, but we're not here to talk about Civil War Casey.
Civil War.
We're here to talk about Criterion Casey.
Although I do love the Civil War of America. I think it's so interesting.
Pretty wild thing.
Pretty wild. It was
have happened.
Yeah. Sometimes I look back on history and I go, I can't believe that happened.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
It's horrible. It's only going to get worse with AI.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean...
I have opinions on AI.
Like,
I don't think the AI will be as bad as the Middle Ages.
You don't think it'll be... I mean, I don't know if it's going to be as bad as, like, Stalingrad. Or fucking... The Trail of Tears.
Yeah.
But who knows?
But also, yeah, that's also true. Who knows? I don't think that either with my very limited scope of life. I
guess
future,
I don't know. I really don't know what the implications of AI are.
I'm just very hesitant about it. I don't use it or support it, but I'm very hesitant about it for sure.
There is that crazy like example that you like build an AI to like be the most efficient at sending birthday cards, and then it like reasons that like, oh, just eliminate like birthdays and it just kills everybody.
That's great. That's great.
Like scenarios like that where it's like, oh my god, that's so inconsequential, but it has like the worst consequence ever.
Right. I think the quest to separate logic and emotion completely.
Wait, you think that's what AI is?
I think that's the thinking that breeds AI. I think the idea that a machine can do anything better than a human comes from the innate desire or the belief that logic makes more sense. That when things are black and white,
like reason.
Yeah.
Over feeling.
Right.
Wow.
That's the only reason why you would prioritize something that doesn't have emotions.
Right. Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah. The older I get, the more I'm like, feeling counts, like feeling matters. To that end, I just don't understand. Like, for me, it's like, I feel like feeling is just kind of like inevitable. Maybe that's really naive of me.
For AI?
Yeah, or of anything that like thinks. I'm just like, isn't it gonna have an opinion? Like, just kind of like, isn't that the nature of like being alive? But maybe I'm being really naive and just have like such a narrow scope of what existence is.
I don't necessarily think that like having opinions means that you'll be able to feel empathy.
Yeah, I guess what's a feeling, huh?
Yeah, I meant more like sympathy, empathy. Regret, whatever kinds of things. Like being able to be emotionally influenced by something that will then dictate the decisions you make.
Yeah. Again, it feels like that just is an inevitable part of thinking to me. But maybe I'm just being an idiot.
I think that since AI feeds off of what is input, I wonder what that'll come to. Like, couldn't you just one? It'll never have the full scope of like a person who's alive, right? Like you wouldn't be able to put all of your thoughts into an AI. So then I wonder, like, if you curate or like restrict the data that you put into the AI, what will it then garner sympathy for?
Right. Oh, I see. If you limit it, so you're advocating for just letting it run wild.
No, this is a thought experiment. My feelings about AI don't really have anything to do with the fact that it can't feel emotions. I could see like a Westworld scenario eventually happening. I don't think that I will see sentient AI in my lifetime.
Whoa, really?
Yes.
I don't know, man. It's moving so fast.
I think they're trying to make us think that it's moving faster than it is.
But like, I'm not even talking about AI. I'm just talking about like everything.
Things are moving fast. I think for a robot to be nearly identical to a human is going to take much longer than probably the 60 years I have left.
I don't know, man. Exponential growth is horrifying. It's like the most powerful force ever.
Sure, it's growing exponentially.
Yeah, and I think, well, maybe progress isn't exponential, but yeah, I don't know. It just like, I just like look at the phone I have, and like, this shit is crazy. Like compared, like 10 years ago, 2014, I had my first iPhone 2011. And before that, it was like a flip phone. And I know this isn't like AI, but like the scope of things I can do with this device compared to my flip phone is crazy.
Sure.
And like with more and more companies using AI, yeah, I don't know. I'm just hesitant to really have like a hard opinion on any of it. But yeah. Anyway, we're not here to talk about AI Casey.
Why not?
We're here to talk about Criterion Casey.
Next episode, my question is going to be about AI.
Oh, baby.
Ari, what do you think AI stands for?
Analyze insanity.
Well, shit. Now I need to think of a new question for next episode. Criterion Casey. Okay. So.
Wait, Casey, where are you going?
I'm going to you. I was just taking the long way because we were going to talk.
Oh, you're so nice.
Oh, thank you. So yesterday, I was like, oh, I'll watch my Criterion Casey movie, and I forgot. So then today I watched it.
Hell yeah.
And I took a chance. I watched a movie I had heard of before, but for a very long time hadn't watched it because I was convinced I wouldn't like it.
Oh.
And it turns out I have only positive feelings about it.
Whoa.
I think it's quite good.
Amazing.
And also kind of like the movie I've been looking for. Like sometimes I see something and I'm like, ooh, if only it was like this or like that. And it did everything that I'd wanted this type of movie to do.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
So the movie I watched, Spy number 18 in the Criterion Collection.
Okay, hell yeah.
They knew what they wanted quick. Made 1964.
That is early.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Made 1964. Directed by Samuel Fuller. The Naked Kiss.
Oh shit!
Have you seen that?
Anything about this movie.
Okay.
The Naked Kiss. Samuel Fuller.
Samuel Fuller.
What else has he done? Is just the big one?
It's pretty big. He did Pick Up on South Street. I'm about 99% sure he did White Dog, which is about a racist dog. He made like a lot of like pulpy kind of movies. Shock Corridor.
Shock Corridor.
Which is what
That's a good name.
Oh, hell yeah. But I watched The Naked Kiss, which opens with this woman, this sex worker beating the shit out of her pimp. And she's like, I want the money you owe me.
In 1964?
Yeah. Yeah, she beat the shit out of him. And then it like cuts to the title card and she's all cool, whatever. And then it just like follows her journey. And I'm so beyond tempted to tell you the rest of the movie because it's awesome. But essentially this cop is like, get out of town. We don't want any prostitutes out here. And then she's like, no, I'm gonna fix my life, and she does. She's
Hell
great.
yeah!
And she's a great person. She fixes her life.
It's like Nights of Siberia, but happy.
Yeah. Well, and then she falls in love with the cop's brother, and the cop is like, and then it literally the middle of the movie, quite possibly the worst thing that could possibly happen happens, and she's like thrown into like the
chaos.
Yeah, she like cannot escape her past. Movies like today or skits or whatever that are parodying noir films, I feel like the movie that they are parodying is actually The Naked Kiss.
Oh wow.
If you're not doing an exact like Casablanca Double Indemnity ripoff, the ideas that you're playing with I think are more The Naked Kiss than something like Detour or I don't know, what's the one, Out of the Past, something like that.
Yeah. Oof, Out of the Past is so good.
It's a good movie. Like when I watch those early stuff, like from Columbia or something with, like Humphrey Bogart or something like that, I'm not super into them. I think they're kind of a bore.
Oh man.
But
I love Laura. It's my favorite. You don't like Laura?
I think it's all right.
Yeah. I actually didn't like it the first time I watched it, and
Yeah.
then it's grown on me so much.
Maybe that'll happen to me. What's the other one that has a woman's name?
Oh, fuck.
Gilda is what I'm thinking of.
That's not a noir, though.
I don't think it's noir.
It's like a
I'm just
musical.
saying. I don't think Gilda's a musical.
Isn't that Ginger Rogers singing and dancing?
I don't think Ginger Rogers is in Gilda.
Wait, who's the Gilda?
I think Gilda is Rita Hayworth.
Oh, fuck, you're right. God damn it. Kill me. I want to die. It's Rita Hayworth. Fucking you idiot.
You're not an idiot. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, Rita Hayworth.
Now I want to know the Ginger Rogers movie you're thinking of.
It's the scene where she's like, yeah, like she like comes up with the hair. That's Rita Hayworth.
That's Rita Hayworth.
That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I just fucked up.
So like there's all these really great euphemisms and it gets really dark. Like the things that they talk about, I was blown away. I didn't even know that you could do that.
Cool.
And the editing is so interesting. I mean the shots, the visual storytelling, I think would be considered out of the box today.
Whoa.
Not necessarily experimental, but it's a lot different from a lot of the things that we see today.
What is Kiss of what?
The Naked Kiss.
The Naked Kiss.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, and it's just like pretty basic plot. Excuse me. It's 1 a.m. where we are.
The city where we live.
The city where we live that we've talked so much about.
Yeah, at this point.
At this point. Yeah, it's just a really kind of, it almost plays like a B movie, but not like in any. That's not to make a disparaging remark about its quality.
Yeah.
There's just something about it that feels very like self-made kind of.
That's fucking cool as shit.
It was really great. I was stunned by how much I liked it. It's a great movie. So I wrote this all on the back of a piece of paper.
Hell yeah.
And this was the thing I was excited to talk about for no reason except that I just want to talk about these movies.
Yeah.
So I figured out a little hack. First of all, this is totally, I know it's already called Criterion Casey, but this is totally
Casey hack.
A little Casey hack. This is totally a shameless Criterion plug. So what I like about watching, I don't do it all the time, but what I like about watching Criterion on my phone is that I've got picture in picture. So if I have to send a text or something, bam, 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 I'm done.
Bam, bam, bam.
So now that I work in an office, I play it on my computer, and they do it on desktop as well. You can do picture-in-picture on desktop.
Oh, wow.
And I know this is very blasphemous. I don't really believe in watching movies outside of a theater, but also, you know, you got to work with what you got to work with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I the picture-in-picture was insane for me today. Like,
oh, cool.
I could have watched like 4 movies today with that picture-in-picture. It was insane.
Wow.
But the other hack I found out that I've been telling everybody about, but I think I'm the only person that cares about it. So every month, if you don't know, Criterion says, hey, here's what's leaving at the end of the month. And those are always top priority for me. That's always my watch list for the next month.
Right.
Excuse me. So what I do is, when I started this job, I didn't have any time to watch any movies, so I just downloaded them. When you download them, you don't lose them. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. At the end of the month, you just got them. So on this sheet of paper...
That's fucking crazy.
Isn't that crazy? It's the best.
They're going to figure that out and get rid of it.
I hope not.
It's
I hope
not
they
gonna
never
last.
do.
That's so great. That's amazing.
It's amazing. On this sheet of paper, I have 93 movies that I've downloaded.
93?
93.
Holy shit. And by download, you mean downloaded from Criterion, like when you go on an airplane and
Yes.
put your shit on airplane mode.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. You haven't illegally ripped them
No.
from Criterion.
No, not like the other 287 movies that I have on my hard drive.
Hell yeah.
Not like that at all. These are perfectly legally downloaded.
Legally acquired.
Legally acquired. You don't have to, but obviously because I'm driving.
You want me to list off the movies?
You don't have to.
You want me to read all
I can
96 of these?
No, it's only 93. I can give you the greatest hits.
Yeah, give me the greatest. Give our
the greatest
poor
hits.
listeners the greatest hits.
You guys
Or we
are
could put this
missing
on
out.
the show notes.
You know what? And it can go on the show notes because you guys are missing out on some great ones. Okay, where do we want to start?
That apparently they can't watch.
Oh, that's a great point. You won't be able to watch many of these. There's probably about 6 of these that you will be able to watch on the Criterion channel.
That's so funny.
But even still, check them out anyway.
check them out anyway.
Look them up somewhere else. Canopy is a wonderful resource.
Canopy's amazing.
Canopy's
I
amazing.
second this.
And you know what else is amazing? Tubi. I know
Lady
people
in
keep
the
talking about it.
Lake?
Lady in the Lake. Do you know
M.
about
Night
this?
Shyamalan's Lady in the Lake?
No, not M. Night Shyamalan's
Or Lady in
Lake.
the Water?
Yeah, that's Lady in the
Oh,
Water.
yeah, yeah.
Listen, do you know about Lady in the Lake?
I do not.
So this is like a 60s movie. It's directed by Robert Montgomery. He stars in it. It's the only movie he ever directed. He stars in it, and guess what? It's a murder mystery, and it's shot completely from his POV.
Oh, I've heard of this. Yeah.
It's shot in the
yeah,
first-person
yeah.
perspective. I think that's the coolest shit ever. That's like the one I'm going to watch first.
Hell yeah.
That was the one I was most excited to talk about for sure. I've got some interesting
Oh wow, it's
docs
wild
on
that
there.
my eyes went to it.
Because it's the most interesting movie on here. I got a bunch of docs on here that I'm really excited about. There's an Anne Hoy one. There's a 3-hour Holocaust one. But
Fun.
we've got And With Him Came the West. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's a 2019 documentary. It's about shit. Well,
Clint
fuck.
Eastwood?
No. He's a real cowboy.
Real cowboy.
He was alive in the early 1900s, so I'm trying to think of who that might be.
Davy Crockett?
No. Davy Crockett is much... No. Davy Crockett was like Western expansion.
Oh, okay. He wasn't a cowboy?
Also, not really.
I don't know anything.
He was like it was Billy the Kid or something. I feel so stupid that I'm blanking on his name.
Jesse
it's the whole
James?
fucking point. No, Jesse James was dead.
Oh, this person's still alive.
Not today, but he was alive. So here's the point. This is a cowboy. He's still alive. He was like one of the only cowboys to like make it out of the right. So he basically created the legends of
Billy the Kid.
Of all these guys.
Wow.
So when movies started coming out, he literally would talk to Charlie Chaplin or somebody like that and go, "Hey, you should make a movie about us because I used to be a cowboy." And his word went. And that the
What?
Yes, literally. So the documentary is debunking a lot of stuff, saying that like he wasn't even a cowboy. Like he's talking about the OK Corral and all these moments. He wasn't even there. Doesn't even know how to shoot a gun, like that kind of thing.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
And with him came the West.
And with him came the West. That's what I'm so excited to watch. What else we got? Kiss the Blood Off My Hands. That's a Joan Fontaine movie. Love her.
Nice.
Love her. We got a lot of Parker Posey on here. Even ones I've seen. Party Girl, Clock Watchers.
Hell yeah.
Broken English. I don't love Broken English.
Ooh, An American in Paris.
I haven't seen it.
Get ready to get sad.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Vincent Minnelli. I've got some Busby Berkeley, some Vincent Minnelli. And then, what's the one? One of these is a Stanley Donen and Gene Kelly movie.
An American in Paris.
Is that them?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Vincent Minnelli. Vincente Minnelli.
Oh, is it? Fuck.
I thought it was. I could very well be wrong. I'm just talking off the top of my head here. What else we got?
Barry.
Oh, one I'm also...
Oh, it is Vincent Minnelli. Fuck.
Damn. I feel really bad for you.
Yeah, I feel bad for me too. God damn it.
Wow, that guy just ran that red light.
It's that time of night.
That's true.
In the wee
That is
small
true. I was watching a video.
hours.
I have Freddy Got Fingered on here. I was watching a video and this guy like bleeped out fingered, and I was like, that's not what he means by Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh, yeah. What the hell? He bleeped out fingered?
Yeah, he was like, it's called a Freddy Got. And I was like,
That's so weird.
yeah. I was like, first of all, grow up. 2, learn what
Yeah.
that means. The Sign of the Ram. I'm very excited.
Is that a witchcraft movie?
No, it's about like this evil woman, and she tortures her family, and not tortures, but like torments her family. But the actress in it, her name was Susan Davis. In like her mid to late 20s, she was paralyzed by a bullet, and she was like the next hot up and coming actress, right? and this was her first movie back, and it was so influential because she got to be in her wheelchair.
Wow.
And then she did. Give me some Tennessee Williams.
Count of Hudson River.
Another one.
Glass Menagerie.
Yes, The Glass Menagerie. She got to do The Glass
Was she with the
Menagerie.
mom? Or she was the daughter?
I don't know. She must have been the daughter because she was only about 30.
Oh, man.
She did they like reconstructed the setup on stage for her to do Glass Menagerie.
That's so cool, actually.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I mean, what I've read was that her performance in it is amazing as well. But I think that's cool. Like when you think, I think about that a lot. Not for me specifically, but just as a concept. Like you think your career is over, and then you get these things.
Yeah. That's what is so sad about Christopher Reeves, I think.
Yeah,
Or Christopher Reeve.
it's just Reeve.
He did do a Rear Window remake.
Yeah, with Daryl Hannah. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, I didn't know it was Daryl Hannah.
Yeah, it's Daryl Hannah.
I guess she's like Grace Kelly.
You know what the thing is that I love Daryl Hannah. I probably hold her in the same regard as Grace Kelly, but when I went to see Showgirls, this guy introduced it. He was he was head of marketing for Focus Features, and he was like, I'm a 40, have I told you this story already?
No.
He goes, literally in his speech, he says, I'm a 45-year-old gay man, so you know I love actresses. And that's how I feel about Grace Kelly. Like, she was in like 10 movies, and there is no one I think about more. I think about her on a daily basis. I'm constantly thinking about Grace Kelly.
She just seems so nice. Like, there's like this sweetness about her that is like so captivating when amidst the beauty.
Absolutely. I feel like people, like, you know, they go, oh, she was like what, the most beautiful woman ever live, and all of her characters were supposed to be so beautiful, blah blah blah. But that is not why I like her. I find her so unbelievably charming.
Yeah, that's it. It's this charm. Yeah. And she's funny.
And she's unbelievably funny.
Was it her that had this like ongoing joke with another? I think it was Cary Grant. They would like swap this like spoon or something. Like it was something that they would do on set to like tease each other.
Oh really?
Like, and they would just like drop off the spoon and like they would slip it in like the other's pocket or whatever. I don't know if this is Grace Kelly. I don't know.
That's so sweet.
But
that's funny.
they would continue to do it even when they stopped shooting. They would do it at like award shows and stuff, and like constantly
so
trade
funny.
like this trinket. And then when she died, I might be making this up.
Okay.
I might be making this up. But like it was like in her will or something, and somebody like snuck the spoon into his pocket at like an award show or something, and he like cried. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't know. This might be like total fucking
This could be
nonsense.
2 other people.
Yeah. But I attribute that. I think of Grace Kelly when I think of that story.
Oh totally. Yeah. I love her to pieces.
I love Rear Window so much.
She's right in my eyes.
I've never seen.
To Catch a Thief.
What's the Philadelphia? Oh, I've seen To Catch a Thief.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen the Philadelphia Story musical that she's in with Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby.
Oh, High Society.
High Society.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's kind of like.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It's like verbatim.
Okay.
Isn't it verbatim Philadelphia Story just with songs?
There's also so much other stuff in that movie. Like Celeste Holm is in it. Her and Frank Sinatra have like a thing going. They have a really good song actually. I didn't know Celeste.
Oh,
Holm
is
could sing.
Frank Sinatra the journalist?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I don't love High Society. I don't. Think
Yeah,
it's
I've heard it's like
great.
kind of eh.
I don't love Philadelphia Story either, but I think it's better than High Society.
Oh, I love Philadelphia Story. I think that drunk scene with James Stewart is just so charming. And I love his little affair with the photographer. I think they're so cute.
Totally. Oh, yeah. So then yes, because that's what Celeste Holm is, the photographer. Yes.
Fuck, I love Philadelphia Story. I know that's like so basic of me.
That's pretty basic.
Also, misogyny. There's a lot of misogyny in that one.
That's another one that I have on here. It's called Undercurrents. It's a Katharine Hepburn movie where she plays like this woman being gaslit by her husband. Like a big thing that people talk about when they talk about it is that it was a departure from her like archetype, and that the whole movie she just kind of walks around. She's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh, interesting.
It's like,
Isn't she also in Dial M for Murder?
no.
That's not Grace
Katharine
Kelly?
Hepburn. Oh, Grace Kelly. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Yes.
talking about Katharine Hepburn.
I was talking about. I was talking about Katharine Hepburn, and then you said, "Wasn't she in?" And I was like, "Oh, Katharine."
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly's in Dial M for Murder, and she's good in it.
Oh yeah,
She's
she makes that
really good in
movie
it.
so delightful.
Love her.
And so scary because you're like, no, not her.
Not great. And then it's like, so first you're like, don't get murdered, and you go, oh man, I hope she doesn't go to prison.
Yeah, it gets
And then
fucking crazy.
She's supposed to be executed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wild
Oh my
that
God.
execution used to be so readily like practiced.
Yeah, they were just gonna kill anybody.
Also, hanging, man, that's crazy.
Hanging's a crazy one. I mean, this one's a little bit older than the others, but I guess hanging's pretty old. Frigging, what is that called? Drawing and quartering? What the hell? Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Drawing and quartering. Oh, the where they tear you apart?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
That's crazy. Stoning is crazy.
Stoning is horrible.
Burning at the stake. I think burning at the stake and drawing and quartering, those are the worst for sure.
Stoning is bad, man. Oh, that would be terrible.
I don't know.
How long do you think that would take?
But imagine a bunch of horses pulling your arms off.
Yeah, but then it's over pretty quick.
No, what if you... I don't know how long you sit there with no arms.
Yeah, I guess they just leave you to bleed out?
I assume so. Maybe they pull your head off, too.
Ugh, God.
Well, that sucks. I feel like stoning, if you get a good rock at my head, it's over. It's over. I mean, that would hurt. It would hurt. It would be painful.
No, I don't think so. I think, yeah, I don't know, man. I think stoning is bad.
Wait, but here's the thing. So the first time I ever heard about stoning, it was the Crucible. And is stoning always like a big stone put on top of you? I've also heard that it's people throwing rocks at
It's
you.
people throwing rocks at you.
Oh, okay. I think
Was my impression.
Okay.
Wait, there's a version of stoning where they put a large rock on you and you just suffocate?
I saw something, it was like, it might have even been like biblical times. And they put a giant rock on this guy and waited for it to crush him to death.
Oh my God.
We're gonna put a trigger warning on this episode.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And then you got hanging, which sucks, but also like
You break your neck.
Guillotine. Thank you for getting it over with.
Yeah, guillotine's nice.
What else? Electric chair. I've heard of people surviving the electric chair, which is just like ridiculous.
It seems awful.
I wrote a paper on lethal injection once. That's awful. It's fucking awful. It's awful. It's not as quick and painless as you think it is. They inject you with two things. If you want to hear this, they inject you with two things.
Oh my God.
You can go ahead. Please go. Yeah. And one of them is a paralytic. The first injection is a
paralyzes you?
It's strictly to paralyze you. And then they inject you with the second thing, which is like a bunch of vitamin C, basically. And you just kind of have to sit there and feel it until you die.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not like morphine or something.
What the fuck?
It's crazy.
Why are they... God, people are just such assholes, man. What the hell?
Firing squad is like...
Rough.
That one's rough. That one could go both ways. You could be shot a bunch of times before you die, or they could get you just right. And then you're dead.
That's right.
I don't know any other methods of execution.
I don't know. I've been told that like getting shot in the torso is not as immediate as in the movies.
I believe that.
Like,
I believe that completely.
And that sucks. Like that sucks.
Absolutely. I can only imagine.
And I've even heard getting shot in the head isn't like a quick. It's not. Yeah. Nothing knocks you down right away, necessarily. I mean, obviously, like, it depends on the caliber of the... Now I sound like a crazy person.
Look at me, I'm alright. I know a lot about guns.
I grew up with guns. Which is so insane. It's so insane. How did we get on this subject? Oh, Grace Kelly dial-in for murder.
Oh, yes, that she was going to be executed, which is crazy. She was framed.
Yeah, she's framed like such an insane way. Yeah, that movie is wild. Same year as Psycho.
No.
I think so.
1960?
Let me look.
Psycho was 1960.
It's the same year as one of his big boys.
Okay, it's probably not Psycho.
I'm gonna be so bummed. 1954.
So not Psycho then.
Let me look. Let me look.
I believe you that it's something else, but you said the same year as Psycho.
Oh wait, no. Maybe I'm. Oh here. Oh, it's the same year as Rear Window.
Oh, okay.
My favorite.
Oh, fun.
Well, actually, I do love Rear Window, but I also love Lady Vanishes.
Banger.
And I have a soft spot for North by Northwest. I do think North by Northwest is a little overrated.
A little overrated, you said?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's just one where I'm like, I watch it and I enjoy it, but I'm like, I can't recommend this to people unless you're like a big movie nerd like us.
Sure.
Like, I can't recommend it to a layman.
And I don't even like North by Northwest.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, so you gotta be careful. I actually am doing a bunch of research. I want to, for my own personal enjoyment, I want to write something about Eva Marie Saint. She's about to turn 100, and I'm very
good for her.
I think it's so cool. She just was in something. She did a
Oh, really?
yeah, she did a rom-com podcast with Marissa Tomei like 3 years ago.
That's
I
great.
was like, hell yeah, look
Good
at you,
for
Eva
her.
Marie. Yeah.
It's a shame her age is so... She was in Superman Returns?
Yeah, she played
Martha Kent.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really. I was thinking about that when we were watching Spider-Man and with Cliff Robertson.
Oh yeah,
I was like, I think
casting.
it's so cool when like older people from a different generation, of movie making, they really get to like be in something wacky and weird. Like that. Really, that's mainly what I'm thinking of. Cliff Robertson in Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that.
It's super cool.
Stephen McKinley Henderson in Civil War.
Civil War. Yeah. Civil War is an action movie, yeah. I feel like his character isn't too far of a departure from like really great theater.
Which is what he's known for, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus like there's absolutely like what Eva Marie Saint's debut being on the waterfront, and then at the same time that like Spider-Man issue number 7 is coming out, like there's no way to. I'm kind of doing a bunch of amalgams here.
No, it's great.
There's no way to possibly know that you'll be so famous and that these things will be so prevalent that they'll make movies of them and like that you'll be playing like a pivotal character. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You can't even conceive of like the effects or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. To me.
She was in a Winter's Tale.
With Colin Farrell.
Yeah. I've never seen this. This cast is crazy. Russell Crowe, William Hurt, Jennifer Connelly, Will Smith, Matt Bomer,
Who the hell is Will Smith?
Kevin Durant, future Elon Musk. This guy.
Oh. He wants to play Elon Musk.
Kevin Durant does. He looks like him.
I guess.
Um.
She made him look really weird.
Well, Casey, thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, hey, thank you. Thanks for letting me share.
Of course.
And thanks to all the listeners at home listening.
Yeah, thank you, listeners, for being here. I don't have my poetry with me, but I have some haikus here.
Hell yeah.
Oh, this one's kind of cute. Okay, here we go. A day spent with friends, they make me an extrovert and open the world.
Aww.
Aww. All right, everybody.
Ari.
I am Ari Wojciech.
I'm Casey Young.
Did you say you love me?
No.
Oh.
No.
Now this is awkward.
Sorry, the laugh wasn't at the idea. I was just like, no, that's not even close to what I said.
What did you say?
I said, Ari Bari.
Oh, okay. This makes more sense.
You're my friend.
Anyway, I'm Ari Wojciech.
I'm Casey Young.
And this is
The Ticket.
Woo!
Bye.